Now at 5 a.m. on WKYT this morning, these cases took months to crack, and now we're learning more about bourbon stolen from 2 Kentucky distilleries and how police found the people who they say are responsible.
Well, police in Lexington are stepping up patrols in areas near the UK campus following the murder of a college student.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Nice to have you along with us. Here we are on Wednesday. It's April 22nd. It's Earth Day. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. And there are some options actually in Lexington if you're planning on celebrating Mother Earth and all that abounds.
Yeah, learn about this planet we inhabit. And let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris, who says it's certainly a cool start to today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're looking outside and it just doesn't feel great. I mean, it is on the cool side. We're sitting there in the upper 40s, lower 50s. A few showers on the way. You see that in the far northern zones sliding in our direction. We're sitting there at 51 degrees in Lexington, 50 in Mount Sterling. You go down the Mountain Parkway, Stanton, there in Powell County, and then work off into Wolfe County area. The Red River, we're holding on to temperatures right there around 50 to 55 degrees. Today's forecast, 58 with a rain chance. That doesn't sound good. Even add gusty winds into that, and it won't feel that great as we slide into the afternoon either. Heads up, green thumbs overnight and into tomorrow morning. That's when it gets really cold. And notice, I'm not saying cool, I'm saying cold. And I'll show you how low those temperatures go coming up.
We'll see you in a bit, and we thank you, Micah. It was a set of arrests that it was years in the making, and now 5 of 9 people indicted in bourbon thefts in Franklin County have been arrested.
This really has been quite the mystery for some time. Who's been responsible? There are a lot of questions over just how police finally cracked this case, and WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with a look at this investigation. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. Investigators say tips helped them bring down 9 people involved in the organized crime ring, which then led to the recovery of $100,000 worth of stolen bourbon. Of the 9 people who were indicted on a charge of engaging in organized crime, 2 worked at Buffalo Trace Distillery and 1 worked at Wild Turkey Distillery. The sheriff says the man who appears to be the head of the operation, Gilbert Kurtzinger, was an employee at Buffalo Trace. We're told the others indicted, Julie Kurtzinger, Mark Searcy, Ronnie Lee Hubbard, Dusty Adkins, Christopher Preston, Joshua Preston, Robert McKinney, and Sean Ballard, met through a softball league of all things. The 5 people who turned themselves in last night are no longer listed in the Franklin County Regional Jail. Officials there tell us they cannot give us any more information. According to several of our viewers, the Kurtzingers have bonded out of jail. Investigators say the bourbon thefts started back in 2008 when rogue employees exploited gaps in security at the 2 distilleries.
Toby Kurtzinger worked on the loading docks, and as a senior employee, worked down there and had access to about everything.
The sheriff tells us that other people could still be indicted. Meantime, investigators are working to recover more of the missing bourbon. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you.
Well, switching gears a little bit here, it shocked the community. A UK student was killed in what Lexington police are calling a very random robbery.
Now police are stepping up patrols in that area to try to help people at least feel safer. Police say 22-year-old Jonathan Kruger was walking home when he was robbed and murdered on East Maxwell Street last Friday. Since Kruger's death, Councilmember Jake Gibbs says he has gotten many phone calls from people in the area who are worried about their safety. So police will be stepping up patrols whenever students are most likely to be out on the streets.
I definitely think that it is necessary to step up patrols for the time being, just to kind of show the public that police are out there trying to make a difference and not letting something like this happen again.
Police say the stepped up patrols will be most visible from Thursday nights through Sundays.
Well, police are still looking for a man they say robbed a store at gunpoint in Knox County. State police released some surveillance of it, or actually this is a picture taken during the robbery. They say just before 7 last night, the man you see here robbed the dollar store in the Flat Lick community. He drove off on a 4-wheeler. The robber is about 5'9", 350 pounds. He was wearing a dark mask and dark clothing.
Police are once again reaching out to the public for help in the case of a Nelson County mother and daughter who were killed in their home. A year ago this week, Kathy Netherland and her daughter Samantha were found dead in their home. Police say they have looked into thousands of tips in their murders, but they have all come up empty. And now family members say the reward for information leading to arrests in the case has been increased to $50,000.
We have done this in hopes of finding answers. If you know something, I am begging you to please come forward. Please give us closure.
Police have been looking for a black Chevy Impala that was last seen driving away from the home around the time of the murders.
Well, a man who escaped from a North Carolina prison 40 years ago is now back in custody in Kentucky. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says Clarence David Moore turned himself in Monday. He'd been living in Frankfort for quite a while. The sheriff says Moore turned himself in because he's in bad health and needed medical assistance from the government. Police say Moore was serving a theft sentence in North Carolina when he escaped from prison during the 1970s. Well, coming soon to Lexington, you could say a bit larger than life. A new movie theater is on its way that will have the largest movie screen in the Bluegrass.
Developers have unveiled plans for the proposed theater. It's to be at the corner of South Broadway and High Street, right there downtown. WKYT's Victor Puente is live now from downtown Lexington at that proposed site. Hey, Victor, good morning. This is pretty exciting.
Good morning, Bill. Yeah, I watch a lot of movies here in the future, hopefully. And we've known for years that there were big plans for this parking lot, but that project kept getting pushed back. This is a look at the area that would be affected. Back in March of 2014, we reported on the plans to build a theater and entertainment complex here at the corner of South Broadway and West High Street. According to the Herald Leader, those plans are moving forward. They say issues with getting the proper leases led to the construction being pushed back. The Krikorian Premier Theater will have 12 screens, including a 100-foot widescreen, which could be the biggest in Kentucky. It'll also include a bowling alley, a food court, and laser tag, which will be built into the lower level of the already existing parking garage. The project coordinator told the Herald Leader the location is perfect for them because of its proximity to the Hilton and the Hyatt, as well as being within walking distance of UK. Now, the plan is to begin construction later in the summer with hopes of opening by the fall of 2016. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Well, today is Earth Day, and if you would like to celebrate Mother Earth, there's an option for you at the Lyric Theater in Lexington. A conference there starts at 10 o'clock this morning. Mayor Jim Gray will deliver the welcome address along with students from multiple universities. Dr. Leonard Peters from the Kentucky Environment and Energy Cabinet will be delivering the keynote address. A reception will follow in the Lyric Gallery. So, a big, celebration for a lot of folks who love to go green and celebrate all things Earth Day.
Complete with a fashion show today they're going to have down there. So that's at 10 o'clock.
Probably some green fashions,
there you
I'm
go.
thinking.
5:07 is the time on WKYT this morning. Let's check live drive traffic.
Not really a whole lot going on, as you can see. Pretty quiet there downtown and High Street. We do want to remind you that pothole repair continues around town and other construction projects. It is that time of year.
Including I-75, the resurfacing going on in Madison County, and the lane restrictions north and southbound. Keep that one in mind. Otherwise, you should be good to go today. A little bit chilly out there. Remember that. And WKYT this morning on your Wednesday, we're just getting started.
I hope your day is off to a fabulous start. There's a new type of frog that's been discovered in Costa Rica. Coming up, we'll show you more of one little guy who looks just like a famous Muppet.
And how would you feel about having a treadmill at your work desk? We'll tell you some of the benefits of that. It's coming up in your consumer news.
I thought about that a couple of times or two. Not a bad idea. 51 degrees in Lexington, 52 in Richmond. It's kind of cool outside, but it gets even colder. Notice I didn't say cool. Here comes some cold temperatures coming up.